Well, that's what we'll deal with then, I suppose. Hello everyone and welcome to round 15 of the Golden Class Championship, the final round here on Trinity Competitive Racing. I'm K997, your commentator for this race, and this time we are racing at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache for the Brazilian Grand Prix, which first opened up back in 1940, would first host a Formula One Grand Prix in 1972. Has been home to one of the most iconic and and also a few title desires in the past here in Formula One. It's also one of the best overtaking circuits on the track for competitive racing, with the ideal overtaking spots at turn 1, down through the center S, and also at turn 4 of the Descida del Lago. There are 2 DRS zones down this iconic racetrack. Like I mentioned, that's at the exit of Juncel that leads up and over this elevation change into turn 1 of the center S. And then the other one is the exit of Coto del Sol down the back straightaway towards turn 4, Descida del Lago. Drivers will have to keep in mind as well of also the elevation, like I mentioned a little bit, the elevation changes that occur around this racetrack. It's also a nice little flowy little racetrack, so yeah, it's also you gotta have a good setup for a little bit of downforce mainly through the middle sector, but then also have a bit of a quick car down the straights, as of course the main straight is quite long around here at Brazil. But hopefully, with its reputation of being one of the best tracks in the world, hopefully we'll have a great race as well. But yeah, also there could be some rain that might be factored in if we do get some wet weather conditions here at Interlagos. And of course, it is ideal ideal, but I probably would say more like you could have a chance of a bit of rain since we are racing in Brazil. Now, before we go fully focused to qualifying, there's just a little bit of news to go through. First, from the previous race at Vegas, there was only one incident that came out of all this, and that was an incident with you having a giggle who received a 10-second time penalty and 2 penalty points for, I suppose, a collision with somebody. I don't know what the report really was for. It just said it was a 10-second penalty. But I don't think but if I remember correctly, it doesn't really affect the final results standings. As we all know, both drivers and constructors championships have all been wrapped up. JTR Line was crowned champion a couple of weeks ago at Kota. He leads the way on 274 points. Followed by his second is his teammate Remsley, that's currently on screen, with 192 points. Raikkonen is in third with 151, followed by Rockstar in fourth with 107. Sir Charles rounds it off with 99 points. In the team's championship, it's Alpine, of course, that locked up the Constructors' Championship as well. They are on 466 points, 466 points. Haas in second with 250, followed by Aston Martin with 206, Alfa Romeo in fourth with 135, and Williams rounds it off with 95 points in the top 5, as Remsley will elect to start from the very back of the grid. He just decided to do a little bit of an outlap and then just go straight back into pit lane. So he will not go forward into qualifying. And I think that's the same thing with Raikkonen as well. I've just noticed because he too decided that he will decide to start from the back. So that means we'll have about 9 cars then that will try to go and qualify here, unless some others decide otherwise. Giggle about on his flying lap right now. I think he's the first one to start a flying lap. There is a Red Bull that's just spun in front of him, completely distracted him. I think that was Kluka that might have spun in front of him. No, it wasn't. That actually was XT. That's an interesting name. XT 2-time champ. A couple of golden silver class drivers around here as well. That guy and also Kluka as well. The only 2 in this race tonight. Speaking of which, Kluka will cross the line to set a 108.788 to kick it off here in qualifying. Yeah, Gale getting a little bit distracted there by the spinning Red Bull. Hicks, meanwhile, making his way through Piorino down towards Pico Tapato as Camden Luca goes to the top now with a 108.512. Okay, so meanwhile hanging around turn 10 of Magulio. Down towards June South. Probably one of the most important corners of the racetrack here. It basically dictates your run down the main straightaway in this third sector, considering that the whole sector is pretty much flat out. Okay, so we'll cross the line to set a 108.9. Puts them into 4th position, at least for now. As D-Swish, another Silver Class driver, also Golden Reserve driver. In the Mercedes tonight, will make his way around Magulio, down towards the end of the middle sector. Apparently he's purple as well, according to the minimap, as he heads around June South, up and over the hill towards turn 13, 14, and then into turn 15. Yeah, those are corners according to the track map as well. Swish will cross the line instead of 109.422. He puts himself right now in 5th place. Gilgo, meanwhile, unsurprisingly, is up by a chunk, by nearly over 9 seconds. He'll cross the line to set a 1, and there we go. Well, it sets a 109.3. I don't know why the camera didn't, like, pen somewhere else. As XD decides to retire, so now we'll have only 8 cars that will try to qualify. Doesn't make qualifying that exciting if you got that many people retiring, I suppose. Z meanwhile goes back into pit lane. Let's see, yeah, of course you got a lot of drivers gonna be in the cool down laps. There's also the 2 Alphas, they're getting back into their respective garage. Yeah, Giggle and Swish are the only cars out on track, pretty much. Lion has not even come out just yet. There's Swish, he is coming into the pits. Fair enough, and now we just wait on Giggle, I guess. Gonna have a lot of time at least, as the Ferrari has also run out of fuel. Yeah, I can tell from the solid red icon, of course, and in causing the yellow flags. Now he goes in pit lane and he will get in. Very nice done. Less than 12 minutes to go in qualifying. Yeah, we might be in for a bit of a long one, I reckon. Okay, there is someone that's coming out on track. 2 cars actually. I see a Red Bull, and that is Camden Luca as well, who's just about to come out on track as well in the Haas. Very unique little pit lane here at Interlagos. Basically cuts through the center S and turn 3. And then you just exit out of the corner and then head down the Retro Aposta. Yeah, that's the name for the back straight if you want to know what it is. Yeah, I do love the corner names here. It's pretty cool. You got this bit there. I think, well, this is Fioradura. They nicknamed this the horseshoe because it has the shape of a horseshoe when you go around these little bends. Pretty much. Yeah, that there is Perino, and that, which is turn 9, and then that there is Pico de Pato, turn number 10. Yeah, it's got a good little bit of elevation changes. Really tests a little bit of the car's downforce through that bit. Well, since Camden is about to start a flying lap, might as well ride on board with him, give you a proper tour of the racetrack here at Interlagos. As he heads down the main straightaway, DRS wide open, heads up towards the center S. Peak speed, 205 as he heads into the braking zone, a little bit of a lockup for Camden. 3rd gear, he actually cut a lot of turn 2, I'm surprised he didn't get invalidated for that. Uses a lot of the curve at turn 3 of coverage to Seoul, up towards now the first sector split, and the clock says he's down by 1/10 of a second. Around turn 4, then turn 5, up and over the hill towards Ferradura. Flick the car in from the left side, quick flip to the right, and back down the gears as he heads down towards turn 8. A little bit of a missed apex there at turn 8, and then through the little sloping corner of turn 9, a very slow corner as well, then followed by another slow corner of turn 10 of Pico de Pato. 3rd gear, find as much traction as you can. Around the left-hander of Magulio, the clock says now he's up by now 1/10 of a second, so he has found a bit of time in that middle sector. Out of June South, like I said, it takes a run out of here because it's all flat out through the final sector. Opens the DRS once again. Camden Luca will set a 1 minute 4.65. He actually lost a bit of time in that final sector, so he didn't really get the best of runs, I'm guessing, June South. His brother Kluka, meanwhile, is up by 0.4 of a second as he heads out to June South. Will open the DRS, heads up towards the line. This might beat his brother's time, and it does beat his brother's time by nearly 0.2 with a 108.280. He actually improved by just about half a second. So Charles out on track as well. Another driver that has yet to set a lap time line also as well, who's in the pit lane, has yet to set a flyer. Giggle meanwhile making his way through the center S, around Cover de Sol, head down the Retro Pasta, gets a bit of a back angle of the car. Clock says for Giggle, he's up by 1/10 of a second to the first sector, out of Tecida del Lago, through turn 5, up and over the hill towards turn 6 and 7 of Ferradura, bringing it down to 5th gear. A bit of a wiggle I see there from the Ferrari car as he heads around turn 8, now into the slow corner of turn 9, back down through this little slow corner, and then you gotta go back up the hill. And then again another slow right-hander of Pico de Pato of turn 10, 2nd gear, and then short shoots up to 3rd. Around the left-hander Maguglia, the clock says now. He's lost time actually, he's now down by 1/10. See if he can find any more time through June Sao. He looked like he got a good run, I think. Let's see here. Opens DRS. And he goes back into the pit, so he wasn't very happy with it. Cakes, meanwhile, in the Alfa Romeo, heads around turn 3. Like Kluka, I just saw, uses a lot of the... Actually, no, Camden, I'm sorry. Used a lot of the curve there at turn 3, around Cover de Sol. Now the clock says for him he's up by 1/10 to the first sector. Turn 5, heads up and over the hill towards turn 6 and 7 of Ferradura. Brings it down to 6th gear, keeps it in 6th, around the corner, up towards turn 8. Now into turn 9, 3rd gear, modulates the throttle. Now I'll head up towards turn number 10. As Sir Charles goes to the top now with a 1 minute 8.227. Cakes meanwhile to the middle sector says he's up by 0.4. With that sort of improvement, he could challenge for 3rd, I reckon. Unless he can find a lot more time here in this final sector. He uses the shortest line as possible up to the line, and it's only good enough for P4 with a 108.481. He's just 0.02 of a second off of Camden Luca in P3. Switch, meanwhile, who is in the Mercedes-Benz, is going to be starting another lap. We have about less than 6 minutes to go here in qualifying. I have a feeling the Lion's not going to bother coming out from what it looks like, so he'll probably be starting from towards the back with his teammate. This is pretty much just a few cars just wanting to do some laps, I guess. D-Swish, meanwhile, making his way through turn 3, out of the first sector, opens the DRS down the Retro Posta. Clock says he's up by 3.5 and he's also purple as well, according to the minimap. Heads around turn 5, up and over the hill towards turn 6 and 7. 6th gear, not 5th gear through Ferradura, but brings it back down to 3rd and uses all the curve there at turn 8. Round turn 9. It's such a corner. It's a corner that just goes on forever. The turns 9 and 10. It just goes on forever. You gotta wait until the car gets around the corner as best as it can, and then you gotta punch the throttle pretty much. Now the clock says he's up by nearly half a second to the middle sector. I don't think that will necessarily challenge anybody else except for Giggle, who's in P6. Switched up to the line. We'll set a 108.742. Only good enough for P6. But it's only about over 1/10 behind Rizzy. Alright. No one else really is out on track at the moment. It's just the Mercedes-Benz, who is just on a cooldown lap. I don't think I've gotten any reports of the weather, as far as I know. I might just check Discord just to make sure of that. No, no one's said anything to me. So yeah, we're probably just. I'm just gonna assume. Just gonna assume we can't. Not can't. I assume we're not gonna have any wet weather. Oh, your downshifts aren't working, XD. Oh, okay, that explains why you retired. Well, hopefully you can get that fixed before the race. Must be a little bit of a moment. I don't know if you're on wheel or pad, but yeah. I know I've had times where my wheel will sometimes have struggle with upshifting, mainly in the ladder gears. It tends to have a bit of an issue. Alright, well, Camden is right now got all the track to himself. So, with the time left on the clock, he can have enough time to go for another run, if he chooses to, if he makes a mistake. But here we go. This will be what will potentially be his final flying lap. Through turn 1 and 2, through the center S, third gear short shifting up to fourth gear, excuse me. Around turn 3, uses all the curb, opens the DRS as Lion decides to retire, as I expected. Camden up to the first sector, he's up by 91 thousandths of a second to the first sector. Out of turn 5, heads up towards turn 6 and 7, towards Ferradura. A few other cars are coming out on track as well. We'll be starting their outlaps shortly. Camden, meanwhile, a bit of a back-end slide at the exit of turn 8. Turn 8. The car just didn't look like it wanted to cooperate there. As he heads around turn 10, through Magulio. What will the clock be? I think he might have lost a fair chunk of time. Well, he's up by a tenth. He actually didn't lose time. He actually gained it, surprisingly. I would have thought he actually lost a bit more time. He could have maybe initially. Opens DRS, will head up towards the line. Camden Luca will improve to a 108.278. He had a purple final sector, but it wasn't enough to get to Sir Charles, who currently is on an outlap. Luca's just coming out of the pits, and Cakes and Rizzy and Giggle all out about as well, as the Ferrari has a big lockup. I could tell from the tire smoke. Alright, Cakes. Well, he'll be the next car then to start his next lap. Well, will be his final flying lap, considering that we have a minute left on the clock. Through the center S, fourth gear around turns 1 and 2. Now heads up towards turn 3. I've covered the Sol. DRS open for the Alfa Romeo as he heads up towards the first sector. The clock says he's down by 13 thousandths of a second. What about Sir Charles in the Aston Martin? The clock says for him, he is up by 14 thousandths of a second. Giggle through the first sector as well. Around cover to Seoul. Pull up towards the first sector. Timing split. He's up by 65 thousandths of a second. As Cakes, meanwhile, will head up towards turn 11. To the middle sector, he's up by over a tenth of a second. Rizzy, his teammate, is up by little over a tenth and a half. What about Sir Charles to the middle sector? He's down by 32 thousandths to 10 Cakes. Challenge for pole? The answer is no. He misses out by a tenth of a second in that time. Kluka, meanwhile, is down by 16 thousandths. Sir Charles goes back into pit lane. Ken Rizzy challenged for pole position. Let's wait and see. The clock says now he's lost time. He's lost about over a tenth and a half, and that might have cost him more, as he has a back-end slide at the exit of turn 11, or turn 12, rather. Out of Jinsao. Giggle does not improve. Rizzy goes back into the pits. Kluka will not improve. And that, I believe, is qualifying done. And it will be Sir Charles, last week's race winner at Vegas, will start from pole position here in Interlagos. Bit of an anticlimactic end to qualifying. The only time we managed to get on the board from that last bit was Camden, but he missed out by half a tenth to Sir Charles. Just now waiting for Kluka's car to get back into the garage, and we'll get going for the race. No formation lap, of course, so we will go straight into the race itself. But Sir Charles on pole position by 51 thousandths, Kluka by 53 thousandths, 2 thousandths separating the two Luca brothers. Case meanwhile is in third, followed by Rizzy, Swish, Giggle, and then the drivers that did not qualify, Raikkonen will start 8th. XC, who had a bit of wheel problems with his downshift problems, will start 9th. Hopefully we'll get that sorted. And then that's the two Alpines of Lyon and Remsley. They will start at the back of the grid. But a very close qualifying between the top three, separated by less than a tenth of a second. Rizzy not too far away either, only a tenth behind Sir Charles. But yeah, I think with that little error that he made at turn 12 at June Sao, that, and also whatever happened at the middle sector, because he was up by quite a healthy chunk until he had those moments, I guess. I reckon he would have gotten pole maybe if he didn't screw it up. Or was it Rizzy I'm thinking of? No, that's Rizzy I'm thinking of. Alright, so no sign of rain, but there are clouds amidst here in Interlagos. You can see them in the distance a little bit away from here, down the pit lane. Also, something if the eagle-eye spotter may have noticed, the pit box arrows are backwards. Only Codemasters can do something like this. But yeah, now like see how the Ferrari's arrow is facing backwards? Yeah, it's supposed to face the other way. Yeah, for when the cars go into their pit box. Oh, only Codemasters. But anyway. Now we just wait on everyone to get ready to go, of course. Camden will give out the signal when to get going, of course. And we will get underway here at Brazil. Yeah, we only have 11 cars in the field, but yeah, hopefully this race will be good here at Interlagos. Alright, here we go. We got 5 red lights for the final time here at TCR Golden Class, and we're underway here at Interlagos. It's a nice start by Sir Charles. Good start as well from the Haas of Camden Luca, but he cannot get the Aston Martin into turn 1, but he will get in the second phase into turns 1 and 2. Contact! Oh my goodness! More contact and a spin for the pole sitter! Oh dear, oh dear. There was contact between him and Camden Luca, And as a result, Sir Charles gets the worst of it. Meanwhile, though, Cakes, though, takes the lead as Kluka goes to second, Rizzy to third, and Camden Lucas dropped down to fourth with all that commotion that happened in the first sector. As Rizzy heads around the outside of Kluka. What on earth is that camera angle? See Rizzy moves ahead. Oh no, Kluka lost the back end. He overcooked the throttle just a bit. Camera angle, what are you doing here? Goodness me. As Kluka, yeah, he's dropped down to 8th place, and the Ferrari goes off the road a little bit. That's Giggle, as Lion is already up to 4th after starting in 10th position. Remsley's up to 6th position, as Swish gets a 5-second penalty for a corner cut in a gain place. Well, a bit of drama, a bit of weird drama, but in the end of it, it's the Alphas that are leading the way 1-2. It's Cakes that leads the way, followed by his teammate Rizzy, now Candeluca, and also Raikkonen is going into the pits and has sustained a bit of damage in the process. Champ has been overtaken by Sir Charles. He's down to 10th position. Yeah, Charles has got a bit of work to do after getting tagged by Camden there at turns 2 and 3. There's Camden, though. Speaking of which, not too far away. Lion, though, is starting to pull away from Giggle. The Golden Clash champion not far away from this top 4 fight. After lap 1, he's up to 4th position. Top 3, though, on the hard compound tires, apart from Lion, who is in 4th. Then Giggle and Lion's teammate Remsley, who's in, well, he was in 6th. Now he's in 5th place. He's just got ahead of Giggle there at turn 11. Yeah, Swish, then Kluka, then Sir Charles, and XT Champ, who might have actually got his downshifts maybe sorted out. Rizzy sets fast lap Camden, now Lion sets the fastest lap. 111.493 as now DRS is enabled. Swish getting ahead of Sir Charles, they was scrapping away there at the first corner. Meanwhile, though, the Alfa Romeo is closing in on each other. Rizzy wants to go on his teammate there at turn 1. Or turn 4, sorry. Turn 1. What the hell am I saying? Well, Rizzy gets ahead now. He's up to first place. Cakes in second. Camden still in third. Stuck behind the 2 Alfa Romeos. It's a pretty ideal situation right now for the top 3 who are on the hard compound tire. We can get onto a set of meters later into the race. They can go about half the distance, then they'll go to the end. The Lion, of course, will be having to go to the hearts. Yellows, that's Giggle, that's Spun. That's at turn 10 that he's done that at. He drops down the order to 10th position. Meanwhile, though, the Alfa Romeo is still close, but now Cakes has DRS on his teammate. Looks like he might have a go. Not quite close enough. Although, Rizzy didn't really get the best little angle there at turn 1, but who got a decent exit at turns 2 and 3. But here comes his teammate with DRS and closing in. Looks like they'll swap positions again. Cakes now moves back ahead of him into turn 4. Camden's still stuck behind this DRS train. Can't find a way by. Has to stay behind at least. Lion, pretty much the same story. This has now brought Remsley into the mix, so now you got the 2 Alpines and 3 Ferrari-powered cars, literally in front. Something that you will never ever see in the real-life Formula 1. Yeah, the main thing though is the Alfa Romeos don't want to battle too hard. They don't want to give Camden or any of the other guys behind a little bit of an advantage. Well, looks like Cakes will move through, I think. DRS gets in through. Camden, oh, that was tight. Cakes moving in just a bit late, but I don't think that was moving on to braking. Cakes will get the DRS again. We'll try to close up on his teammate. But this time does not look like he has the distance to close up. No, he doesn't. Not close enough. There at Tessio Delago. In terms of battery life, though, from the top 5, you got Rizzy with 68. Cakeso has the worst with 30%. Canada Luca with 63. Lion, not a surprise, that's 95%. He's usually very good about this battery saving. His teammates about the same in terms of battery saving. Very good, I should say. I'll believe it when I see it, hopefully. It would be cool to see a 1-2 from Alfa Romeo with Joe and Bottas. Although Haas might look good for that race, so I'm not going to lie. Williams, though, I definitely know will be a good car at Vegas, considering it's got a lot of straights, of course. Cakes doesn't bother finding his teammate. Oh, hello, there's Lion. He's on the left-hand side, and he moves through at turn 2. And Camden also opens the door for Lion's teammate to get through. So Camden's lost 2 positions in the span of 3 corners. Meanwhile, at the back, Champion D-Swish battling out for 8th position. Champ stays in front of the Mercedes for now. Kuga's not really in the position to fight the top 5. He's about 2.3 seconds. Yeah, I'm not sure about on the straights for Haas. I know, ideally for a track like what they've got, where it's so fast-paced, yeah, it could work. But Williams, though, has the best car in a straight line, so that's why I'm saying Williams could definitely be in more of a favor. But the one thing, though, at Vegas is that, well, this is the thing that's been a very big topic, is how the track temperature is going to be, considering that the fact this is going to be a race in November, and it's going to be cold as well. Yeah, drivers are saying that they might have to do more than 1 out lap in order to get their tires up to temperature. Even when Pirelli bring the softest compounds in their range. Yeah, because if I remember, it's the C5. Ooh, hang on. Lion nearly got 1 for a move there on Cakes. But yeah, now considering. Oh, hell, on yellow flies. That's Fluka. He was stuck on the grass. That's something I'll allow. So he spun on the grass, and his car was just literally stuck on the hill. Which, yeah, no, I'll allow that. Because, yeah, since these cars have low center of gravity, it is easy for them to ball them out and get stuck. So, yeah, no, I'll allow that. Top 5, though, still close, and here comes Lion. He wants to go for some sort of move. Oh, but Cakes says, no, I will not allow you to do that. Instead, he'll go for a move on his teammate again, this time through the center S. Around turns 1 and 2 and 3. The Alpine, though, has a good run. He has DRS, and he's got battery, too. Oh, he doesn't go for the move there. Oh, he's got it boxed in, though, in fairness. Yeah, so Cakes left him boxed in. The 2 Alphas left the Alpine boxed in. That's why he couldn't move to the left. He wasn't clear to go to the left. So Lion stays behind, at least for now. Ideally, in Lion's situation, what he needs to do is get by these Alfa Romeos and then try to pull as much of a gap as he can. And that's the same story, too, with his teammate, because they're both on the mediums. Yellows again. What's this one for? Now, it was in Sector 2, but now we're back into green. Might have been from one of the back markers, I think. Well, here comes Lion again. Part 2. Cakes defends aggressively. The Alphas once again boxing the champ. They're trying to box him in. Lion, though, has more exit, more traction there at turn 3, and there goes his teammate. Alpine's now get in front of one Alfa Romeo, now they're going to get in front of the other Alfa Romeo. Meanwhile, Cam's just sitting there watching the show unfold. But yeah, because that case had no battery, he couldn't defend against these guys. So yeah, he's kind of left vulnerable. Now Rizzy's a little bit vulnerable to the two Alpines. Now they'll have a chance of trying to overtake. Great traction there from Rizzy there. My gosh, he got a lot of traction there at turn 10. Oh, but did not there at June South. He really was twitchy there at turn 12. Here comes the Alpine with DRS. Not quite close. Giggle causes another yellow flag there at turn 10. Lion not close enough to do anything there at turn 1 and 2 through the center S. You'll have DRS again though down the back straight. He might be in a position to line up a move. Let's see. No, not quite. I thought he would have had a move there for a brief moment, but he didn't. Hey, through turn 8, 9, back up and over the hill towards turn 10. Clouds are starting to get there. It's getting cloudy actually here in Interlagos. Meanwhile, XD gets by his teammate Kluka, that's for P8. That's happened at turn 8, it looks like. As Giggle has crashed, virtual safety car has been deployed. I couldn't get a good angle of what happened. But I'm guessing what happened is that he lost the back end, the car just veered to the left. But as a result, he's out. Well, this gives it gives Cake a little bit of chance, though, to save up his battery, considering that they have to go by the Delta. Giggle leaves the session, don't really blame him for it. Kluka, meanwhile, will take advantage of the VSC. He'll go into the pits and get onto a set of hards at the end of the race. They will go to the end from here. But what the clouds... Oh no, soft tires he's going on to. Okay. I have a feeling we will have rain in the mix somewhere. Definitely looks like a bit of rainy conditions here at Interlagos. Drivers just need to be careful, don't exceed the Delta. We're back into green, quite literally the most awkward spot for the leaders that could get the green flag underway. Yeah, because Rizzy had a poor exit there at turn 9. But he still does well there through turn 12. But now Lion will close up a bit more with a bit of DRS. He's got all the battery as well. Rizzy doesn't have a great deal, but he's still got battery nonetheless. But I don't think... Oh. I was going to say he wasn't going to hold the position for long. Lion decides he doesn't want to go for it at turn 1, but he will try again at turn 4. With the aid of DRS, and his teammate, I think, will follow suit too. There goes Lion, and there goes Remsley. Oh, no, not quite. No, Rizzy still hangs on the position there for seconds. But the Alpine does have a bit of a run up the hill, but he has the outside line for turn 6 and 7. Can he get the bit of traction, all the grip? Gets around the outside. Nicely done by Remsley there at turn 6 and 7. Fantastic move. Both cars giving enough respect and enough room. But in the end, Remsley came out on top of all that. So now it's gone from an Alfa Romeo 1-2 to an Alpine 1-2 here in Interlagos. Rizzy and Cakes don't need to keep up. Same with Cam DeLuca. They don't want to fall behind. Remsley not close enough to do anything there, but well, he did lift off in fairness. That was strategical, he did. You'll have DRS again, though, heading down the back straightaway towards turn 4. But it'll probably be the same story. Yeah, just doesn't want to go for anything. Yeah, they believe they got the pace to try to pull away from everyone else behind. And in fairness, they do, considering the battery life they have for both of them. Yeah, Ramsey's got 89%, Lion's got 57%. Both alphas are in the 30s, but Camden Lucas not doing too bad. He's in 62%. So he's still keeping up fairly decently without having to consume some of the battery. I think what the Alpines will do, if the rain does come, they'll try to go as long as they can until their tires decide they've had enough. One of them's about to overtake another one. That's Remsley now who goes down the inside. He'll get in front of his teammate there before turn 1. Resi still needs to keep within distance, and I think he has just about. Yellow flags in sector 3. That is for Kluka. That is spun at June South. Camden did overtake Case. I failed to notice that. But Case was not close enough to do anything there at turn 4. Yeah, they don't want to lose out DRS. They don't want to do that. If they do, well, that's kind of game over. Camden struggling a bit here. Did have a bit of a bad exit there at turn 8. As around turn 10. Not a great traction either, and there goes Cakes. He gets through. Why on earth did he? What happened there to Camden? He just didn't get the power down, and then Cakes just got the invitation to go through. Interesting how that happened, I guess. Well, because of all that little shenanigans, they've kind of lost touch to the top 3. Must have been a genuine mistake. Oh, speaking of genuine mistakes, that's Rizzy going off a bit. He still got DRS because he was under a second at the detection line. But because of that little mistake, he's going to have a bit of a tough time to catch up a little bit. He needs like a really good middle sector in order for him to at least catch up to the top 2. Well, right now within pretty much half a second from each other. Rizzy's only about 1.7 behind behind Lion, excuse me. Camden now re-overtakes Cakes there. That's for P4. Alright, meanwhile, Attitude South. Can Rizzy close up a bit? Question is, too, when has come, when will it come? As Lion now retakes the lead at the center S. Rizzy doing all he can to catch up, but it's a bit of a tall task right now. Thanks to those two Alpines just DRSing each other. Yeah, I mean, you got cars DRSing each other in front of you. It's kind of hard to get close. Yeah, once was a top 5 fight. Now pretty much somewhat close to a top 3 fight. But Rizzy just needs to close up. I know that's a little bit hard at the moment. He needs to get within less than a second to get DRS. And right now he has not done that. He's about 1.2 seconds behind. If he wouldn't have made that mistake, he would have, at Courage of Soul, he would have been in DRS touch. Still, but yeah, right now it's not really the case. Yeah, so far the closest battles we got on track is really a battle with these two Alpines and the battle for 4th between Camden and Cakes. Yeah, Camden right now ahead of Cakes at the moment. Yeah, Rizzy trying everything he can to catch up. I'm sure eventually, though, Those medium tires well, they might be seeing better days here, considering how far they've gone. They've got about 17 laps. I mean, in fairness, though, the mediums can stretch for about 20 laps, so I'm wondering if they're going to try either. Well, it could be trying to stretch the mediums as best they can until the rain comes, if it does come, that is. If it doesn't, then they might have to go to the soft tire. But how far can they carry that? Oh, there it is. I thought it would be coming. I just saw a spit of rain come down, and it's here. Alright, so the rain has come here in Interlagos. Alpines pretty much have played this pretty much beautifully into their hands. Up the hill towards turns 6 and 7. Yeah, I can see the raindrops are starting to form. Just a little bit. It's just spitting, not coming down heavy just yet, but it's coming. At least I predicted the rain correctly. I thought it would come eventually. It was just only a matter of time. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense why the Alpines, of course, went on to the mediums to start off the race. The only bad thing is right now, it's not really wet enough to go on to a set of inters. Yellow flags in sector 2. Again, that's for Kluka at turn 7 at Furadura. Camden, meanwhile, trying to stay as best he can. Sir Charles, there he is in the background, 6, running a lonely P6. After qualifying on pole, what was his first pole of the season, unfortunately, kind of been hampered thanks to this man on screen, with a bit of contact that happened at turns 2 and 3. Swish is going for the intermediates early, but I don't think it's wet enough quite yet. XD also into the pits for intermediate tires. Kluka in and same with Raikkonen. He was one of the drivers, of course, that sustained damage on the first lap. And Remsley is losing a bit of touch to his teammate. Not gone wet just yet to get onto the inters, but everyone's still carrying on. Yeah, Swish is the only Swish, and XD, Kluka, and Raikkonen are taking the gamble. Well, it seems like now Camden's decided to do the same thing, and Sir Charles, they're going into the pits. They want to get off these tires early. It's not got the sheen yet, though, that's the thing. It's not like to the point where you see a bit of sheen on track. It's just still a bit dry. Alright, well, they are on the intermediates. We'll keep our eyes on the times. See if they maybe tumble or they don't. I have a feeling that they're not going to tumble. Yeah, it's still too early, I think. Top two, meanwhile, still close to one another, 9/10, so just about 9/10 actually. Camden has increased a little bit on the gap, so maybe it is getting close to that point. Lyon decides to go in, locks up, but he's in the pits. Remsley stays out. That's honestly something he had to do anyways. It was going to be one of the Alpines that have priority, and I think we're starting to get that bit of sheen coming on the track. Lyon's on to a set of intermediates. He should be coming out comfortably ahead of Camden Luca. Just about. Yeah, no, he'll be out there comfortably ahead. Yeah, there's a little bit of sheen coming down, so Yeah, I think now is the point where they have to come in. Yep, there's the spray. It's coming. I think Lion might have timed this perfectly, you know. Yeah, and the drivers ahead are struggling a little bit on these tires. Yeah, they have to come in this lap. They have to come in. Well, the DRS has not been disabled by race control, which I find very interesting. Rizzy's getting the pits now, and same with Remsley. Pulls it up just about. Not a great entry, though. Cakes, well, he's going to stay up for another lap. And it's soft tires for Remsley. Softs. Why? That's not the right tire to go on, my guy. There's spray on the tires. Look. There's spray. He's gonna be screwed. Remsley has definitely shot himself in the foot by doing that. Well, Case kinda has done the same thing by staying out on those old hards. He's gonna have a faithful Alpine show up in a minute. Unless he finds pace in those tires, I will be stunned if he does. There's no way he's gonna catch up to Lion. Not with the state of the track conditions. Yeah, he's already losing time. Look at that. He's already losing at least a few tenths in each of the quarters. As XD gets a penalty for multiple warnings. That's the first penalty of the race. Yeah, you can see how much she's struggling on the traction. Unless there's a point. Hang on. Something actually just came to my head. You know, flags. Oh, I don't know what that was for. Unless there's a point where the rain will stop. Maybe that's why he's gone to the softs. It's a huge risk. The rain doesn't look very heavy, as you can see. But what's interesting to me is that Remsley's not losing time. He's not losing time to Rizzy. He's not losing time to Lion either, who's trying to go down the inside of Cakes, who's on those really old hard tires that are just full of nothing at all, no grip whatsoever. So Lion now moves into the lead. I think there's a point where the rain might actually stop. I don't know. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be. Has the DRS been disabled though? Surely it has. No, it still is. It's still enabled. So even in these conditions, the TRS is still enabled. I don't know how that works, but okay. Okay, well, it's an Alpine 1-2 again. But what I find amazing is that Rizzy's not really finding any time. As Case goes in, he's on the medium compound tire. These are very interesting calls I am seeing here. Really, really interesting calls. That's Kluka again, that's spun. That's at turn 12. Actually, if you think about it, yeah, Remsley's not losing time. He's not gaining much, but he's not losing time. Normally in these conditions, like if it was heavier than this, he would be losing time. He's not even losing time to Rizzy. Yeah, like he's actually still within touching distance. And the DRS is still enabled. How does that work? That is the most backwards thing so far. Well, I mean, to be fair, I have seen times where it gets inconsistent with the weather. Kluka again is spun, decides to kiss the barriers. there at turn 5. Okay, so what Remsley has to do, make sure is that the weather doesn't get any worse, and well, Rizzy just has to pray it does. Otherwise, from what it looks like, it's going to be one of the Alpines, but which one is it going to be is the question. Unless we get a safety car to decide that. Alright, 1.3 seconds. It's been staying that way, too. The spray's still there. It's still raining. Yeah, you can see the camera lens are still wet. What a fascinating little spectacle I am seeing. Okay, well, Remsley's lost 2/10 on that lap. The gap with start of the last lap was 1.4. It's now 1.6. There's still spray coming off the tires. How on earth is he not struggling, though? I don't understand that. I think if it was me, I'd be struggling big time. I think Cakes would have to be struggling for sure. He's on the medium tire. If you're wanting to be on the slicks in these sort of situations, the best tire you want to be on is the softs. Because that provides the most grip out of any of the tires. Alright, it's well, it's actually now 1 second separating these two. Can Remsley get DRS here? I don't think he will. No, he won't. I mean, you may think, yeah, he's under a second, but he wasn't at the detection zone, which is at the exit of turn 13. Although he will get DRS on this occasion. So now he will claw on the back of his teammate. Yeah, the rain still continues to fall here at Interlagos. How much longer, though, does it stay like that? I'm just more amazed that he's just not... I'm amazed that he's not struggling. That's the thing I'm more amazed by. I'm amazed that he's still within touching distance. Like, there's no way you can still find somewhat of traction and grip in these sort of conditions. Line runs wide, and Remsley is going to be close enough for DRS. But not just close enough for DRS, but he's going to take the race lead. Seriously, how on earth does that work? Well, there you go, he's in the lead. And the rain's still falling. He's on soft tires in intermediate conditions, and he's in the lead. He's not losing time, he's not gaining time. Not that much time, I should say. How on earth does that work? Seriously, I'm more flabbergasted. Actually, if you think about it too, Cakes is starting to get up to speed a bit on these tires that he's on. That literally makes no sense. Like, there's still, look, you can see that there's still spray coming off the cars. That's how wet it is. And yet it's, oh god, I don't understand this game. I don't understand it anymore. Yeah, in a normal world it wouldn't be like this. Yeah, and look at Cakes. He's actually gained a second almost on this lap. Well, the lap he's on, I should say. And it's still raining too. Has it? Yeah, it still is. I seriously don't know how on earth that's possible. That is honestly the least amount of sense I have seen so far. I think it's... Has it stopped? No, never mind. I just saw the wet drops, the rain drops. Alright, well, Lion's about to retake the lead. There he goes, down the inside. He gets through. Yeah, literally these two are the only closest battle we got on track. I mean, seriously, I've just never seen anything like that. I mean, I know in this game, though, the weather is so inconsistent. There's this yellow flag, and again, that must have been for Kluka. Oh no, that's XD, I think that caused the yellows. I'm so used to seeing Kluka cause the yellow flags. Okay, well, it seems like now, Lion's starting to pull a bit of a gap again to his teammate. As Swish has gone onto the soft tires, so he'll carry those to the end. Raikkonen will also pit as well. And Ramsley is not going to get DRS on this occasion. He will most certainly not. Right, so the guys at the back of the field have gone back on the slicks. 4 drivers on it. This makes literally no flippin' sense. Yeah, it's rain, but it's not heavy enough for DRS to be disabled, nor is it wet enough for the slicks to be useless. Please make it make sense, game. Although it probably will never be that way. Okay, well, Ramsley about to close up again with DRS. And move through. Actually, there's something else I have noticed too. The track surface. You notice how, like, it's not so patchy anymore. It's got, sorry, not so patchy. You notice how it's not so much, it's not really wet anymore in some areas as the camera goes into the pit. I think the rain is, I think it's stopped. Has it stopped? Yeah, it has stopped. So this is a good opportunity for the slick runners to get moving. Okay, so yeah, the rain has actually stopped. So now the track is starting to get drier, which means now the intermediate runners are going to get into a little bit of trouble. That being Lion and Rizzy. They have to go in for slicks. Oh, that's a Haas. That's Raikkonen that just nearly lost it. Sir Charles pits. He's onto the soft tire. Alright, Lions in, and same with Rizzy. There you go, and, well, it seems like Remsley made the right call, and he's in the lead. Stays in the lead. And it's soft tires going on for GTR Lion, and same for Rizzy. There could be a chance here that maybe the Alfa Romeo of Cakes might get his teammate. Let's wait and see. It looks like he will. Cakes now takes third place, and with a bit of aid of DRS. So Ramsey has really played this perfectly then. That is the most interesting way of interesting thing I've ever seen. But Ramsey pulled off a brilliant strategy call by paying onto the sauce, which I thought he was going to be wrong about. It turned out that was not the case. Again, I don't know how that was possible, but it happened. Well, what I think will happen next is that Rizzy will try to overtake Cakes. We will have a battle here between the Alfa Romeos, but who will come out on top of all of it? Rizzy's got 1 lap old softs, Cakes has got 10 lap old mediums. Yeah, everywhere else it looks like to be locked up in terms of positions, unless something happens. Sir Charles, though, sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:10.8. As we head through turn 10, yeah, there's definitely will be a change of position soon. On to lap 35. We got 2 more laps to go. Ramsey crossed the line to start lap 35. Meanwhile, the Alfa Romeos definitely going to swap. Rizzy is really close to his teammate. Pulls to the right and just freezes past. Don't really think there's much that Cakes can do anything about that, so Rizzy will take back third. For what will be a podium finish. As Camden Lucas sets the fastest lap with a 1:10.701. Up towards turn 6 and 7. Still not over yet, really. Swish now gets overtaken by Charles. Although I don't really think that's gonna matter, in fairness, because yeah, Charles has got a penalty and Swish does not have a penalty. Yeah, Swish just trying to hang on as best he can too. Meanwhile, we are on to the final lap of this race. It's still a tight battle between the Alphas. Cakes hasn't given up. Lion does set the fastest lap of the race with a 1:10.3. So it will be most likely a complement of points, full complement of points for Alpine in terms of the constructors points. Cakes though, he's closing on his teammate. No! Can he get the nose into turn 4? The answer is no. He cannot get him there. Stays behind there into turn 4. At turn 4. Now, through Ferradura, up towards turn 8. Cannot find a way by here. Has to stay behind, at least for now. Up and over the crest towards turn 10. Oh, the checker flag did just wave there. Ramsey came across the line. Wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. Sorry for not getting him on there. Meanwhile, the line will come home in P2, but who will come home in P3? It looks like it's going to be Cakes that will take it here. He will hold on for third. Rizzy will take third, Cakes takes fourth. Camden Luca will finish in fifth place. And then we just wait for the others to cross the line. I think from the way it looks, it will be Swish that will claim sixth place over, over Sir Charles. He'll finish in sixth. Klukas does set the fast lap of the race, so he will score that extra point. XD will finish in eighth, and Raikkonen will be finishing in ninth. And there we are, finished here at Interlagos. Ramsley driver of the day, so starting from the back, finishes with the race win. With a great strategy call there. That really fooled me for sure, but he pulled it off nonetheless. Alpine 1-2, once again here at Interlagos. This is Ramsley's fourth win of the season. Congratulations to him. Of course, Lion getting another second place, top 5 finish. Another podium finish. Finishing in second place. And Rizzy, well, this will be his first podium since Qatar. Very big congratulations to him as well. Good drive from him. He tried it. The two Alphas tried everything they could to hold the Alpines, but the Alpines were just too good. Ramsley though wins here at Interlagos in the final race of Golden Class. Lion finishes in second, followed by Rizzy, Cakes, Candeluca, Swish, Sir Charles, XD, Raikkonen, Kluka, and Giggle. No, one DNF I should say. I was gonna say no DNFs. No, we did have one. That was Giggle that retired here. But otherwise, that was it. And that does conclude Golden Class here in TCR. Yeah, fantastic. All finished here. Now, I guess, well, I guess we could maybe do interviews if they want. Oh, I forget how to. Hang on. Right, hang on, give me a second. I'm trying to join through my PlayStation. There we go. That's what I had to do. There we go. Now we're good, I guess. Oh boy, oh boy. I'll wait for everyone else to join up, I suppose. Hi, Line. Yeah, just give me a second here. I'm just trying to get myself all adjusted here. Yep. Oh, good. All right. All right. Well, I think we should be all right. Hopefully. Hopefully it goes well. If it doesn't, well, I don't know what will be. Anyway, we'll start off with the podium sitters here then, I guess. Well, we'll start off with Lions. So, yeah, Lion, congratulations on P2. Starting from the back, towards the back, actually, starting in 10th, finishing in 2nd. Although the strategy didn't really seem to go your way after the rain kind of subsided at the end, but how was the race for you overall? Yeah, pretty much. I guess there wasn't really too much to say other than you just pretty much start from the back, like I said, or what we kind of said, and yeah, pretty much all you had to do was just fend off the Alfa Romeos, excuse me. I'm guessing, yeah, from when you started on the mediums, I guess the best thing you were trying to do was just like build up a gap as best you could, and then, well, just try to pull away, because that's what it kind of seemed like to me. Correct. Yeah, I did notice that. Hmm. Well, since you did win the Golden Clash Championship, I'm guessing you're gonna move up to Platinum. I guess. If that's the case, if that's what you're doing, how would you fare next season? Oh. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Okay. Oh, righto. Okay. Huh, perfect. Well, that'll probably be easier than for me to race then. Well, that's good. I I hope so. Anyway, thanks for the time, and yeah, well, I'll catch you then for the occasion. So congratulations, and also we'll move on to your shoot, who do we move on to? Because I mean, I know you finished in P2. I guess we'll move on with Remsley. I'll finish on with Rizzy later on. But yeah, Remsley, you finished with a win to cap it all off for the season. So congrats. Definitely played out the strategy perfectly. I was not expecting you though to be that well on the soft tire whilst it was still like pretty wet. I'm guessing how was it really for you then? Like, I'm guessing you weren't really struggling overall whilst the rain was coming down on the soft, whilst you were on the softs. Oh, okay. So you kind of just play it. So you kind of just gambled on a little bit. That's kind of what you're saying. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, right up. Well, pretty much, it seemed like you guys were pretty much just wanting to see how you go from the back. I mean, I guess there's no other thing I can probably point out. It seemed like Lion kept pointing out a lot of things that you guys were doing. But I guess since the season's over, well, since the season's over now, will you be racing in a Elite Series or whatever that will be called for next season? If you do, like, what are your goals and ambitions for that? Hmm. Mhm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, understandable. But yeah, okay. I guess it makes. I guess I got nothing else. But otherwise, congratulations on your win, and of course to cap off a strong season for you and Lion. Of course, constructor-wise, of course you two dominated the entire season, and yeah. Um, I'll wish you good luck then for next season, whatever that will be. No worries. Now, Rizzy, since you are on PlayStation, I'm gonna do something a little different, because I don't like using the comms join chat. I'm just gonna invite you into a party separately, because that makes it easy for me. So just give me a moment and I'll invite you. Alright, what is it? C Rizzy 10? Wait, hang on. Is that it there? Is that it? C Rizzy? I think that's him. I just hate using the comms don't join chat. It's annoying. Hang on. Does he have like any sort of... Oh, he's got a... Okay, that's what he's got. That's what... Okay. I didn't see the dash. There he is. Okay, I found him. Yeah, I know that sounds a bit weird to invite you to a separate party. It's just because I hate using the comms don't join chat.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Could you make sure that your voice is being shared though, real quick?
It should be already.
Okay, cool.
hmm
All right. Well, yeah. Well, you finished in P3. Probably your best results, I would say. I think, according statistically, to the season, because your last podium, it seemed like it came.
The first race.
Yeah, I was gonna say at Qatar.
Yeah.
So you must be pretty stoked about that, at least to finish off strong.
Yeah. I think the beginning and end of every season seems to be my best. I won the final race last season, so
Ah,
just gotta fill in the middle a little bit next season.
mm, yeah. I kind of get you. So pretty much, obviously, your goal is just to get a little bit consistent, better results. Then.
Yeah, definitely. Not sure. where it lies into which day I'll be racing, but definitely just more consistent results no matter where I'm at would be ideal.
Hmm. So I didn't know about this. So what is it? The Elite Series, and what's the other one? Or is that?
The name's still, they're picking between a couple.
Oh, right.
But it'll just be, I think they're probably leaning towards the Contender Series. At least that was my favorite of the three options. As just sort of a way to ensure attendance stays a little bit better instead of spreading out all the people through three tiers.
Yeah.
And to just make things more competitive overall, and just give people a goal to leave the Contender Series to move up to the Elite Series, and vice versa.
Yeah, fair enough. But if you race in this Contender Series, like, what would your, well, I mean, besides being consistent, like, what would you have any other goals that you have for that upcoming season?
Probably to get a win under my belt on this game. I mean, only going through with 2 podiums this season was a little disappointing. Had a bit higher hopes, but just had some unlucky instances throughout the season that sort of hampered that. Plus, just having such quick guys come through this season was a little difficult on what I wanted to do, but I feel like in the end I made the most of it.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, yeah, with all the competition, if it gets, you can face quick drivers, it doesn't get easier. So yeah, I can understand a bit from your POV, but yeah, but it does help you though to get better. From what I find out anytime I face against quick drivers.
Yep.
But I don't think I got anything else to say. But other than that, congratulations though on P3, and hopefully next season you will get maybe a couple wins under your belt. I hope, for your sake. But yeah, but congratulations though.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. And yeah, I think that will conclude Golden Class. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it wasn't the most exciting Brazilian Grand Prix in the world, but still was a race nonetheless. But thank you for tuning in all season long here in Golden Class, and also thanks to Cam DeLuca who did all the coordinating for this tier, and of course giving me the opportunity to commentate for pretty much the rest of the season here in Golden Class. It was a privilege, of course, to help out and commentate. Had some good moments here and there. But yeah, hopefully whatever happens with TCR, with this new Contender or Elite Series that happens, hopefully it'll be a success, and we will be back whenever that will be for that sort of era. But we got Platinum tomorrow, and until then, I have been KD1997. I don't know if I'll be on the track or back in the comms box, but where I'll be back maybe sometime for that season, next season. Anyway, take care. Have a good night.